Good morning, Primary 1, it's Miss Hamilton here. It's Wednesday again, which means it's a writing day. Today's learning ladybird is to write a letter. Lots of you had a go at writing a letter in Miss Jack's lesson a couple of weeks ago. Miss Jack discussed why letters are important and different types of letters. Can you remember any of the different types of letters? And can you think why you might send or receive a letter? Have a think and a chat with someone at home. Miss Jack also spoke about the two different types of letters that are called formal letters and informal letters. Formal letters are letters which are sent to people that you don't know. They can be sent for different reasons. Informal letters are letters which are sent to people that you know. For example, sending a postcard about your holiday or saying thank you for a birthday present. Lots of you had a go at writing an informal letter to someone you knew to let them know that you were missing them. Today, we are going to be writing our letters to the nursery children who are starting Primary 1 after the summer. We are writing to tell them about our school and to make them feel excited and happy about starting Primary 1. Can you remember how you felt before starting school? Some of you might have felt nervous. Some of you might have felt sad. Some of you might have felt happy, and some of you might have felt excited. These feelings are all okay, and the nursery children will be feeling these different ways. So let's write our letters to let them know what it is like to be a learner at Kinross Primary School. So take some time now to have a think and a chat with someone at home about what it's like to be a learner at Kinross Primary School. You might want to tell the nursery children about all the friends that you have made in Primary 1. You might want to tell them about all of the fun things that we have to play with in Primary 1. You could also tell them about your favourite areas to play at. I'm sure they will be so excited to hear how much we play in Primary 1 and how important it is for our learning. You might also want to tell them about all of the different subjects that we learn about at school and which ones are your favourites. You might even want to tell them about the different adults that help us in school. Your class teachers, all of the ladies that help in our class, in the playground, in the lunch hall, and other teachers that have taught you, like Mrs. Blake and Mr. Graham. So, just to recap, these are some of the different things you might want to tell the nursery children about in your letter. Your friendships, the subjects that you enjoy, adults who help you, and what you enjoy playing with. You might have other different things you want to tell them too. So, before we start writing our letters, let's remind ourselves how to lay out a letter. Who can remember where you write the address and the date? It is in the top right-hand corner. You then write to or dear and who the letter is to. So this letter says, Dear Gran. You then have the main part of the letter. In this part, you may tell the person you are sending the letter to some information, and you may like to ask them some questions as well. Then at the bottom of the letter, you say who the letter is from. So in this letter, Little Red Riding Hood has ended it with, Lots of love, Little Red Riding Hood. Kiss, kiss. Now it's time to have a go at our letters. First of all, write the address and the date in the top right-hand corner. So I have written Kinross Primary, Station Road, Kinross, and then the postcode KY13 8TG, and then today's date. So today's date is the 9th of June 2020. So starting from the left-hand side of the paper now, I write who my letter is to. So I have written, Dear Nursery Children. If you know someone in nursery that is starting school after summer, you might want to write to and then their name, and you might want to address this letter to them. Now it is time to start the main part of my letter. My first sentence is, how are you feeling about starting Primary 1? This sentence is a question, so remember it's got a question mark at the end. So I've remembered my capital letter, finger spaces, and then my question mark instead of a full stop. In my second sentence, I am going to challenge myself to use a connective. My second sentence is, I like school because there are lots of different things and lots of different people to play with. Make sure after each sentence you are going back and reading it to check it makes sense and that you have got your capital letter, finger spaces, and full stops or question marks. For my third sentence, I have written, my favourite thing to play with is the big building blocks. Don't forget to go back and check, have you remembered your capital letter, finger spaces, and your full stop? Have a check as well that you are spelling your common words correctly. Why not take a challenge today and write more than 3 sentences? I have challenged myself. So my fourth sentence is, what do you like playing with? So it's another question. So I have used a question mark at the end of the sentence. So for my last sentence, sentence number 5, I have written, I hope you enjoy Primary 1 as much as I did. At the end of your letter, don't forget to take a new line and write who the letter is from. So I have written love from P1A, but this is where you will write your name. Once you have finished your letter, read it all through to make sure it makes sense and that you haven't forgotten anything. I am going to read mine now. Dear nursery children, how are you feeling about starting Primary 1? I like school because there are lots of different things and lots of different people to play with. My favourite thing to play with is the building blocks. What do you like playing with? I hope you enjoy Primary 1 as much as I did. Love from P1A. So let's have a look at our successful spider for writing a letter. Write the address and date in the correct place. Write to or dear and then the person's name you are writing to. Write the main part of your letter, including all the information you want to tell them and any questions you want to ask. End the letter with from and then your name. The other successful spiders that we always have in our writing lessons are draw a detailed picture, use the common words that you do know and sound out words that you don't know, and remember to use capital letters, finger spaces, and a full stop or question mark at the end of your sentences. Once you have finished your letter and checked over it, you could ask someone at home to give you 2 stars and a wish for your letter. One of your stars might be, you have spelled all of your common words correctly. Another star might be, that you have remembered to use a question mark at the end of the sentence when you are asking a question. A wish may be that you need to remember finger spaces between every word. If you have written your letter to a certain person in nursery and have their address, you might want to post it in a post box if an adult at home says that's okay. If you can't post it, or it is written to all of the nursery children, then don't worry. Post pictures of your letters on Google Classroom and we can share them with the nursery children. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson all about letter writing. I can't wait to see more of your fantastic writing on Google Classroom. Don't forget to post pictures of your work for us to see.